Thank you so much for your question, Liz. We have one more questioner here today. I'd like to welcome in Emma Hinchliffe. She's a senior writer at Fortune. She writes the Broadsheet newsletter, and which focuses on women in the workplace. And she also has her own Substack, which is called You've Got ML, not email, but Emma IL. Welcome, Emma. What's your question today?
Thank you so much. Hearing about the ways that policy could maybe be the answer and could not be the answer, I'm curious what you think about what businesses can do and will do, kind of two separate questions to address the gender wage gap. When you look at something like the salary transparency law here in New York, businesses threw a fit before it went into effect, but it's been pretty successful for a year. Or, work from home was beneficial for businesses until it wasn't. So what do you think businesses should do, and what are they willing to do without regulatory motivation?
Great. Thank you for that question. Allison, we'll start with you. What do you think that businesses will do, should do?
Well, as I said, they have before. I think there was a reason why they didn't want to give their workers flexibility. It was very expensive. But I think, as we said, with technology, that is becoming less dear to employers. I think the pay transparency laws have had kind of a mixed bag when it comes to closing the pay gap. So far, the evidence suggests that it does close the pay gap, but it pretty much just means that it gives employers an excuse to pay men less, but not women more. So I'm not sure if that's the objective or how we want to close the pay gap.
I work for a regulatory body that has the power to sort of enforce forced labor laws. And I take a page out of Roosevelt that says, speak softly and carry a big stick. We like it when business does the right thing and we do not have to enforce. That's a really wonderful thing. And so we see that happening. I think by and large, companies generally want to do the right thing. When we do pay equity audits, they're generally shocked when they see gender wage gaps because they don't believe that's part of their philosophy or their approach, and they're willing to correct it. I think on pay transparency, I was going to bring that up as well, because a lot of companies are doing it proactively without being in a state that's legislating it, because they see that it's helpful in terms of even just getting more higher quality candidates, because people are participating at a rate that's commensurable with the actual salary that's being offered. So, there's opportunities. I think companies, there's a big DE&I push. There's more conversations, diversity, equity, inclusion, push. And there's more conversations about this in the marketplace, and companies who are putting a premium on this as part of their brand strategy are doing really well in actually doing this. So we like to see that. We like to see companies taking the initiative, and we shall see if things like pay transparency or salary disclosure laws is another really new one emerging in the US, banning companies from asking for previous salary disclosure, how that's going to have an impact. And a lot of that is actually company driven. So I think private sector has a significant role to play as well in being leaders in this and committed to closing gaps.